Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Hollywood's golden age was a time of glitz, glamour, and larger-than-life stars. But behind the shine of the silver screen, many of these icons faced struggles that led to tragic and untimely deaths. In today's video, we will be discussing 25 actors and actresses from old Hollywood who tragically passed away under circumstances that may have been influenced by deep emotional and mental distress. Mental health is something that touches all walks of life, including those in the limelight, and it's important to remember that these stars were more than just their public personas. Today, we'll learn more about their lives, their struggles, and how their stories can shed light on the importance of mental health awareness. Let's dive into the stories of 25 old Hollywood actors and actresses who left us too soon, their lives marked by talent, beauty, and sadness. Marylin Monroe is one of the most famous and enduring icons of the 20th century. Known for her roles in films like Some Like It Hot, 1959, and Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, 1953, Monroe captured the hearts of millions. However, her life was riddled with personal struggles, including depression, anxiety, and a series of troubled relationships. On August 5, 1962, Monroe was found dead in her Los Angeles home from an overdose of barbiturates. Though officially ruled a probable suicide, the circumstances surrounding her death have been widely debated and are often considered one of Hollywood's greatest mysteries. Her passing continues to be one of the most heartbreaking stories in entertainment history. Peg Entwistle was a promising young actress with a rising career in Hollywood. In 1932, after receiving negative reviews and struggling with personal turmoil, Entwistle tragically took her own life by jumping from the famous Hollywood sign. She was 24 years old. Entwistle's death remains one of Hollywood's most poignant stories, highlighting the intense pressure faced by young stars. Her name is still associated with the Hollywood sign, a reminder of the toll fame and failure can have on young actors and actresses. Although Virginia Rappe did not die by suicide, her death is deeply tied to the tragedies and pressures faced by actresses of her time. Rappe, a rising star in silent films, died under mysterious circumstances after attending a party hosted by actor Roscoe "Fatty" Arbuckle. Although an investigation led to no formal charges, her death became a scandal and reflected the dangerous and exploitative environment in Hollywood during the 1920s. Rappe's story serves as a sobering reminder of the darker side of fame during Hollywood's early years. Robert Walker was an actor known for his roles in Strangers on a Train, 1951, and The Clock, 1945. His career was on the rise, but his personal life was marked by turbulence. He was married to actress Jennifer Jones, but their relationship deteriorated, and their divorce had a lasting impact on him. In August 1951, Walker was found dead in his apartment from an overdose of barbiturates at the age of 32. Though his death was officially ruled as a suicide, it is believed that the emotional distress from his failed marriage and his career struggles contributed to his tragic end. Barbara Payton was an actress in the 1950s, known for her roles in Kiss Tomorrow Goodbye, 1950, and Bride of the Gorilla, 1951. Despite her beauty and early fame, Payton's life was marked by addiction, turbulent relationships, and a fading career. In 1967, Barbara Payton tragically took her own life at the age of 39 by overdosing on barbiturates. Her story is a stark reminder of the pressures young women faced in Hollywood and the tragic impact that addiction and mental health issues can have on individuals. Wanda Hendricks was an actress known for her roles in films like Song of the Open Road, 1944, and The Kid from Spain, 1941. She was married to war hero Audie Murphy, but their relationship ended in divorce, which deeply affected her. Hendricks struggled with alcoholism and depression for much of her life. On January 8, 1981, at the age of 52, she took her own life. Her death is often seen as a result of the emotional pain she carried from her failed marriage and a lifetime of personal battles. Jean Tierney was a glamorous actress known for her roles in Leave Her to Heaven, 1945, and The Ghost and Mrs. Muir, 1947. Her career flourished in the 1940s, but her personal life was filled with heartache, including the birth of a child with a developmental disability, which deeply affected her. Tierney struggled with depression and spent several years in psychiatric hospitals. Though she did not take her own life, her emotional struggles and the trauma she experienced are a poignant part of her story. She passed away in 1991 from emphysema. Dorothy Dandridge was a trailblazer in Hollywood, known for her performance in Carmen Jones, 1954, which earned her an Oscar nomination. However, despite her groundbreaking career, Dandridge faced systemic racism, financial difficulties, and personal tragedies that took a toll on her mental health. On September 8, 1965, Dandridge was found dead from a barbiturate overdose. Though her death was ruled an accident, it remains a tragic example of how racism, financial instability, and personal struggles can impact the mental health of even the most successful stars. Carole Landis was a popular actress and singer during the 1940s, known for her roles in 1 Million BC, 1940, and Moon Over Miami, 1941. However, Landis struggled with personal issues, including a failed relationship with Lieutenant Thomas R. Pelly, who tragically died in a plane crash. On July 5, 1948, Carole Landis took her own life at the age of 29. Her death, caused by an overdose of sleeping pills, is a sad reminder of the emotional toll that fame and personal heartbreak can have on individuals. Lupe Velez, the Mexican Spitfire, was known for her roles in films like The Gay Desperado, 1936, and The Tiger Woman, 1944. Despite her rising fame, Velez faced personal struggles, including a turbulent relationship with actor Johnny Weissmuller. On December 13, 1944, Lupe Velez took her own life by overdosing on sleeping pills. She was 36 years old. Her death remains a tragic chapter in Hollywood history and speaks to the emotional toll fame and personal turmoil can take on an individual. George Sanders was a distinguished actor known for his roles in Rebecca, 1940, and All About Eve, 1950. Despite his success, Sanders was deeply depressed, feeling a lack of purpose after achieving fame. His marriages, including one to Zsa Zsa Gabor, also added to his emotional strain. On April 25, 1972, George Sanders took his own life at the age of 65, leaving a note that simply read, "I am leaving because I am bored." His death is a powerful reminder that even those who appear to have it all can suffer from deep emotional pain. Spade Cooley was a popular band leader and actor in the 1940s and 1950s, best known for his Western films and his television performances. However, his career was marred by personal troubles, including an abusive relationship with his wife, Ella Mae Cooley. In 1969, after being convicted of the murder of his wife, Cooley was found dead in his jail cell. Though his death was ruled a suicide, his story serves as a tragic reminder of the destructive nature of domestic violence and the emotional toll that Hollywood fame can have on individuals. Audie Murphy was a war hero and a successful actor, known for his films like To Hell and Back, 1955. Despite his heroic achievements, Murphy suffered from post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, due to his experiences in World War II. On May 28, 1971, Audie Murphy died in a plane crash. Although the crash was ruled an accident, many believe that Murphy's mental health struggles played a role in the tragic event. His life was a mixture of heroism and personal suffering, ultimately ending in an untimely and tragic manner. Marylin Maxwell was an actress and singer during the 1940s and 1950s. She appeared in films like Till the End of Time, 1946, and The Men, 1950. Despite her early fame, Maxwell struggled with alcoholism and personal difficulties throughout her life. On March 20, 1972, Marylin Maxwell passed away from a combination of alcoholism and mental health struggles. Her death, though not a suicide, serves as a reminder of the harsh realities that many stars faced off-screen. Charles Boyer was one of the leading men of Hollywood's golden age, known for his roles in Algiers, 1938, and Gaslight, 1944. His career was filled with critical acclaim and box office success, but his personal life was deeply affected by tragedy. Boyer's wife, actress Patricia Morrow, suffered from long-term illness, and her passing in 1978 devastated him. In August of 1978, Charles Boyer tragically took his own life by overdosing on barbiturates just weeks after his wife's death. Boyer's death was ruled as a suicide, and it is believed that his emotional grief and the loss of his beloved wife contributed to his decision. He was 78 years old. While Arthur Miller did not take his own life, he should be mentioned due to the trauma and mental health struggles connected with his marriage to Marylin Monroe. After their highly publicized divorce in 1961, Miller was deeply affected by Monroe's tragic death the following year. The emotional toll of the marriage and Monroe's passing shaped Miller's later years. He died in 2005 at the age of 89, but the tragedy of Monroe's life and death haunted him for years. Legendary actor Henry Fonda was known for his iconic roles in films like The Grapes of Wrath, 1940, and 12 Angry Men, 1957. Although he did not take his own life, his life was marked by deep personal struggles, especially in his relationships with his children and his mental health. Fonda's struggles with depression, particularly in the later years of his life, are well documented. His close relationship with Jane Fonda was strained for many years due to his emotional distance. Henry Fonda died in 1982, but his struggles with family life and emotional distress throughout his life add a layer of tragedy to his story. The platinum blonde bombshell Jean Harlow was one of Hollywood's biggest stars in the 1930s, known for films such as Red Dust, 1932, and Dinner at 8, 1933. However, Harlow's life was filled with heartbreak, including the death of her mother, whom she was very close to. In 1937, Jean Harlow was struck with a series of personal tragedies, including the sudden death of her husband, Paul Byrne, and her own health issues. While Jean Harlow did not commit suicide, she did pass away at the young age of 26 from kidney failure. It's believed that Harlow's declining health was exacerbated by the intense emotional strain she was under during this period. Her untimely death at the height of her career is one of Hollywood's great tragedies, marked by both professional success and immense personal loss. Linda Christian was a Mexican-American actress known for her roles in films like Tarzan and the Mermaids, 1948, and The Lady and the Monster, 1944. She was also famously married to actor Tyrone Power. Christian's life was marked by the strain of a troubled marriage to Power and her subsequent personal battles. After Power's death in 1958, Christian's career suffered, and she faced depression and loneliness. In 2011, at the age of 87, Linda Christian died in her sleep. Her death was not a suicide, but her struggles with depression and isolation in her later years are a part of her tragic story in Hollywood history. Dorothy Stratten was a Playmate of the Year who became an actress in Hollywood films like They All Laughed, 1981. Her beauty and innocence earned her a place in the limelight, but her personal life was marred by her abusive relationship with her husband and manager, Paul Snider. Tragically, in August 1980, Dorothy Stratten was murdered by Paul Snider, who then took his own life. Stratton's death was a senseless and tragic loss, and the story of her life and death remains one of the darkest in Hollywood history. John Garfield, a talented actor with a compelling, brooding presence, John Garfield was known for his performances in The Postman Always Rings Twice, 1946, and Force of Evil, 1948. Garfield was one of the first Hollywood stars to be blacklisted during the McCarthy era due to his alleged communist sympathies, which severely affected both his career and personal life. Garfield faced public scrutiny, career decline, and anxiety about his future. Tragically, in 1952, he passed away from a heart attack at the age of 39, which some speculate was brought on by the immense stress he faced. While Garfield's death was not ruled as a suicide, it marked the end of a career and a life cut short by political and personal battles. Carole Lombard, known for her work in screwball comedies like My Man Godfrey, 1936, and Nothing Sacred, 1937, was one of the most beloved actresses of her time. She was a comedic genius with a natural charm that made her a huge star in the 1930s. Lombard was married to actor Clark Gable, a union that was one of Hollywood's most talked-about marriages. Tragically, Carole Lombard's life was cut short in a plane crash on January 16, 1942, when the airplane she was traveling in crashed in Nevada. Lombard was returning to California from a war bond rally, where she had been promoting the sale of war bonds during World War II. While her death was an accident, it highlighted the ever-present risks and pressures that came with fame during her time. Her sudden passing at the age of 33 shocked the Hollywood community, and her death deeply affected Clark Gable, who was said to never fully recover from the loss. Frances Farmer was an actress with tremendous promise, known for her roles in films like Come and Get It, 1936, and Son of Fury, the story of Benjamin Blake, 1942. Her striking beauty and undeniable talent made her one of the most promising actresses of her generation. However, Farmer's career was marred by personal and professional struggles, which included clashes with studio executives, public outbursts, and battles with mental health. In the early 1940s, Frances Farmer was diagnosed with schizophrenia, and her personal struggles became widely publicized. She was committed to a psychiatric hospital, where she was subjected to electroshock therapy. These experiences led to significant disruptions in her career and personal life. Farmer's mental health struggles continued throughout her life, and she eventually died of cancer in 1970, but her tragic story has often been seen as a warning about the treatment of mental health issues in the entertainment industry. Natalie Wood, one of Hollywood's most captivating actresses, is remembered for her roles in Rebel Without a Cause, 1955, and West Side Story, 1961. Born in San Francisco, Wood began acting at a young age and became a major star by the time she was a teenager. Her early life was marked by intense public scrutiny, and the pressures of fame were always part of her personal life. Despite her professional success, Wood's personal life was tumultuous. She had a troubled marriage to actor Robert Wagner, which was marked by emotional and sometimes physical conflict. Wood's mental health issues, including anxiety and depression, were well known by those close to her. On November 29, 1981, Natalie Wood was found dead after drowning under mysterious circumstances while on a boat trip with Robert Wagner and fellow actor Christopher Walken. Though it was initially ruled an accidental drowning, the circumstances of her death have remained the subject of speculation and controversy over the years, with some believing that it was not an accident. Wood's tragic end at the age of 43 has left a lasting shadow over her legacy, and she continues to be remembered as one of the most talented actresses of her generation. The stories of these 25 actors and actresses offer a sobering reminder of the darker side of fame. While they may have lived their lives in front of the camera, their personal struggles often went unnoticed by the public. Each of these individuals left behind a legacy of talent, but their tragic ends show that fame and success do not insulate anyone from mental health challenges. As we reflect on these stories, we should remember the importance of empathy, understanding, and the need to have open conversations about mental health. Even those who seem to have it all can be silently battling inner demons. Let us honor their memory not just by celebrating their careers, but by recognizing their humanity and the complexities of their lives. If you or someone you know is struggling with mental health, there are resources available to help. Please, reach out to a professional or a support network. No one should have to face their darkest moments alone. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more stories from Hollywood's history.